Hey guys, today I will show you how to build a personalized LinkedIn outreach system for your Sales Navigator leads inside n8n. The system scrapes your Sales Navigator lead search results and sends personalized connection requests to each lead based on their profile information. Additionally, it also follows up with the lead in a personalized manner. I'm Subham and I help businesses to scale with AI, so without wasting any time, let's have a live demo of the system, and after that I will show you how to build it from scratch. Alright, so let me give you a quick overview of this system. So we have three automations inside the system. So these are like the three automation that we have. So this first automation basically helps us to scrape the leads from a particular lead search URL inside Sales Navigator. So if I go to Sales Navigator and go to lead filters, then I can apply different filters over here. So for the job title, I will apply CEO over here. And then for the geography, I will select North America. Then for the industry, let's select advertising services, for example. So once you have applied different filters, you will have all the results over here. And what you can do is you can just copy this URL from here and you have to put this in form. So this automation will basically send it to our agent, which is inside Phantom Buster. So this Phantom Buster agent will basically scrape the leads from that particular URL as well as the details. Then after that, this automation will receive the output after the scraping is done, and we have this AI model over here. So this model will create our outreach sequence based on the profile information, and then this automation will store it inside a Google Sheet. So the Google Sheet looks something like this. So we have like the LinkedIn profile URL, the name, the connection request, the first follow-up message, the second follow-up message. So these three fields will be generated by AI. So after that, what we have is title, summary, industry, company, job title, description. So these 5 fields are over here just for the reference, because sometimes AI makes mistakes. So you can basically cross-check the different details after the AI has generated all the messages. So we have another automation over here in order to track this campaign. So basically what happens is we have like 2 agents inside Phantom Buster. So the second agent over here, which basically does the outreach. So when a lead is imported from this list inside that particular agent, then this automation will mark true over here so that you can easily track your campaign and see which leads are basically imported inside the outreach system. So that is pretty much how the system is on a high level, and let's run this system and see how this actually works. So I'm just gonna click on execute workflow. So this will open this form, and what I have to do is let me copy this lead search URL from here and I will paste it over here. Then the next thing what we are going to need is a session cookie, and this is mandatory. So basically how you can get the session cookie is you have to have this extension, which is LinkedIn cookie extractor. So install this extension and go to your Sales Navigator, and over there open this extension and click on extract cookie. So this will basically get your cookie, and click on copy to clipboard. And after that, what we are going to do is we will put it over here and just click on submit. And now you will see that this automation will start running and it will send our details to the scraper agent. So as you can see, it has started running, and over here it says one phantom is running. So basically this scraper agent is running inside Phantom Buster. So if I open this, then you can see the progress over here. So it has basically connected to my LinkedIn using that cookie. Then after that, it will extract the lead from that search URL. So let's just wait for a while. So it has finished getting the profile. So what I have done over here is I have kept the limit as 5. So it will extract 5 profiles. So this is just for testing purpose, but you can have up to 2500 exports from a particular URL, which is really good. Then if you go to this automation, then you can see that it has successfully executed. And if we see the output, then let's open this, and yeah, this is the output. So we got all the profiles. So we got all the 5 profiles over here, and this model has also generated the connection request message, the first follow-up as well as the second follow-up, and it has sent it to our Google Sheet. Then this also has sent us a message inside our Gmail that it has successfully completed its work. So this is like the message that we have. So Sales Navigator scrape completed successfully. Check out the personalized outreach sequence link. So this is the link to our sheet. So as you can see, it has filled in all the details. So if we check all the messages, hi Alex, I admire how Intensify scaled an e-commerce brand from launch to 10 million plus. I'm Subham, an AI automation dev, and I usually work with marketing agencies. Are you open for a quick chat? Thanks for considering. So this is written by AI. Then inside the first follow-up message, what we have is, hi Alex, thanks for connecting. Really impressive how you helped scale that e-commerce brand 38x in just 4 months. That's serious growth marketing. I'm an AI implementation expert helping businesses to scale with AI. Recently helped Goodman Lantern, a content agency, with the AI transformation that saves them 10 plus hours per week and 2x conversion. Do you know someone who is looking for an AI transformation? I have a few slots and giving away a few systems for free. So basically I've added some social proof over here. so it's better to do that. Then for the second follow-up, what we have over here is, hi Alex, just wanted to follow up on this message above. Do you know someone who might like this? Also, since you run a marketing agency, this might be useful for you. So basically the system is first going to send a connection request with this message. So then once they accept the connection request, it will send the first follow-up. Then if they don't reply to the first follow-up message, then it will send the second follow-up message. So if we go to this other agent over here, which is like the outreach agent, so you can see that how it's configured over here. So basically if we go to like the setup, then you can see that the URL of this particular spreadsheet is given over here. Then after that, what we have is name of the column containing profile URL. So basically we have selected the column which has like the profile URL. Then what we have is connect to LinkedIn. So basically I have connected my LinkedIn account over here through their extension. Then the next thing is invitation message. So I mapped the connection request field over here for the invitation or the connection request message. Then after that, the follow-up messages. So the first follow-up will be sent 0 days after they accept my connection request. So the field is also mapped over here from our spreadsheet, and the second follow-up will be sent after 2 days. So it's also mapped over here. So I'm just gonna click on save, and if we go to like the next part, then what we have over here is how many invitations to send per day. So we have 7 over here. So you can send 20 invitations per working day, but when you're starting out, I would recommend to have up to 10 connection request, because we are basically using some automation tool to send the request, and LinkedIn has some restrictions around that. That's why we basically should be starting with a smaller number, and then we can start increasing and go up to 20. Then what we have is select when to send invitations and messages, so weekdays during working hours. Then if we go to advanced settings, then we have a webhook over here. So this webhook is from this automation. So every time a profile is imported inside of our agent, this will mark true over this field, so that you can easily track your outreach campaign. So that is pretty much how the system works on a high level. So if I go to my LinkedIn, I can show you some of the invitations the system has sent. So basically I've ran the system previously for the testing purpose. So this is generated by the AI and automatically sent by our system. So you can see that the system is working fine. And once this person has accepted our connection request, the system will send the follow-up messages as well. Alright, so in this part of this video, we are going to build the system from complete scratch. So if you want to do that, then just follow along, or you can grab the system for completely free from a Skool community. So the link is in my description. So make sure you join that community and grab the system for free. And I also will really appreciate if you stay connected inside the Skool community, because I'm posting exclusive content out there. So that will be really supportive if you do that. And beside that, if you're a business owner and you're looking to implement AI systems inside your business, then there is a link inside my description where you can book a meeting with me. I have an agency called Efficiency where I help businesses to scale with AI. So we can have a good meeting and we can discuss your requirements further, so that I can help you build those systems. So in order to build the system, you're gonna need 4 things. So the first would be an n8n account. The second would be a LinkedIn Sales Navigator account. LinkedIn actually gives you 1 month free trial for Sales Navigator, so you can grab that to build the system, or you can just simply pay them and have a Sales Navigator account. Then what you're going to need is a Phantom Buster account. So Phantom Buster also provides like a free trial for their for their subscription. So basically you will have like 14 days free trial when you sign up to Phantom Buster, so you can use a trial version of Phantom Buster in order to build the system. Then the fourth thing that you're going to need is an API key from platform.openai.com for our AI. So basically what you have to do is you have to sign up to platform.openai.com, then you have to go to billing and have to put some credits over here. After you have done that, basically you can come to this part, API keys, and click on create new API key and name it something, and just click on create key. So copy this and save it somewhere safe, because you won't be able to view it again, and we are going to basically need this inside our workflow. So once you get all these 4 things, then you can start creating your workflows inside n8n. So before I start building this, I just quickly wanted to share a tip related to building AI systems inside n8n or Make. So when you're building systems inside n8n or Make, you have to check 3 things. So the first thing would be to check that the process you're planning to automate or the system you're trying to create, is it possible manually? So for example, this outreach over here. So this outreach system, first what I have done is I have tested individual agents inside Phantom Buster, and I have validated that yes, this thing is manually possible, so that we can basically automate automate this thing. So first what you have to do is that. Then the second thing what you have to do is basically check all the APIs that you are going to use and check them individually, so you can see that whether you are getting like the desired result from that particular API. And the third thing what you should be checking is if there is any API key that is missing, or if there is any obstructions for building this workflow, then is there any workaround that you can find so that you can implement inside your workflow and it will basically do the same thing for you. So you need to check these three things in order to build your automation systems or your workflows. So with that being said, let's start building our outreach system. So first what I'm going to do is I will create a folder inside n8n so that everything is organized. So I'm just going to name it as sales nav outreach system. Oops. Okay, so sales nav outreach system, and I'm just gonna click on create, and our folder is created over here. So inside this folder we will create our workflows. So let's start with the first workflow over here. So the first workflow will be to launch our scraper agent. So first what I'm going to do is I'm gonna create a form over here for the trigger. So n8n form on new forms event, and over here I will name it as sales nav outreach. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some elements over here. So the first element would be the link, then the next element should be the cookie of the sales navigator, and yeah, that's it. I think, yeah, our form is ready. So what I'm going to do next is basically I will add the phantom buster node. So phantom, yeah, so this is like the node, add an agent to the launch queue. So we are going to use this one. So it's connected over here. So we are just going to set this up. So first thing what you have to do is you have to get the credentials, so which is basically like the API key of phantom buster. So in order to get that, you have to go to phantom buster, and over here you have to go to API keys, and here you will find the add API key button. So I'm just going to click it over here, and this will create my API keys. So I'm just going to copy this and I will put it over here. So create new credential, and I'm just going to put it over here and click on save. So now my API key is successfully saved. So I'm just going to close these two automations. Okay, so it's saved. So once I've added my credentials, the next thing what I have to do is add my agent over here. So my agent is basically Sales Navigator Search Export. So in order to find this agent inside Phantom Buster, what you have to do is you have to go to LinkedIn. So you have to go to Solutions, then Sales Navigator, and over here there is this one, Sales Navigator Search Export. So you have to use this one. So I'm just gonna click on Use now. So these are like the different things that you have to give it as input. So I'm just gonna click on Save and Close. So once you have done that, you have to come back to n8n and basically select your agent name. So sometimes this agent name doesn't appear over here. So in that case, what you can do is you can remove your API key and add it back again so that you will have it over here. So I'm just gonna select it. So the next thing what we are going to add is a field. So in this field we are going to select arguments. So we are going to add arguments. So how do I know this thing? Well, basically I have used AI over here. So if I go to my Claude, then you can see what I have done. So in Claude, as you can see, I've written how to use APIs for Phantom Buster Sales Navigator Export. So it has basically shown me the way how to do this. So from that, what I got to understand is I have to use argument. And secondly, what I've also seen is that basically during my trial and error period, so inside this agent, if you see the activities, and if I go to all the failed activities, then you can see, if you see the logs, then you can see that it says what are the things that is missing. So the argument, as you can see over here, there is this one argument. So by doing some trial and error and basically, using AI, I have figured out what to use. So basically you have to use something like this. I know there can be other fields as well inside this argument, but this basically works in this case. So I'm just gonna make it JSON parameters. I'm just gonna put this argument over here. So basically the session cookie will be from this form. Then searches will be like the basically like the search URL from the form as well. And the number of profiles, we can select any number we want up to 2500. So I'm just gonna select 10 for now. Then this is pretty much done over here. So what will happen is, maybe let me just execute this part first. So I'm just gonna execute this step and fill it with something. Let's just fill it with the actual values, Oops, I'm confused now. I think this one is the right one. ABC, submit, yeah. So we got the details over here, and we are simply going to map these details over here. So the link, the search link will be pasted here, and for the session cookie, so I'm just gonna grab the cookie and put it over here. That is pretty much what you're going to need as an argument for this one, or else you can just use AI and take this particular argument, and if you want to add some different things to this argument, then you can do that. There's no problem with that. So I'm just gonna click on save, and I think we are done with the first part of the scraper agent. So I'm just gonna execute the workflow. So we are just going to take this URL once again, and basically put it over here. Then after that, we are gonna grab this cookie. So you have to have this cookie extractor extension for LinkedIn. So this one, you have to use it, and basically we are going to put it over here, and I'm just going to click on submit. So this should actually launch this agent. So if I go back to our Phantom Buster and go to dashboard, and let's see if it's running. So as you can see, it's running right now. So if I open this one, then we will wait for some time and see if it's connecting. So after waiting for some time, this has successfully completed its work. So we are pretty much done with this automation, and it's working properly. So I just named it as Sales Navigator Scrape and saved it. So the next workflow what we are going to build is the one which writes our outreach messages. So what I'm going to do over here is first we need a webhook trigger. So I will quickly show you what I'm going to do over here. So I'm just going to select on webhook call, and just gonna grab like the test URL from here. So what this will do is, basically I will show you in a while. So it will be post method over here, and I'm just gonna copy this URL. And the next thing what I'm going to do is just gonna save it, and what I'm going to do is just gonna put this URL inside Sales Navigator Search Export Agent inside Phantom Buster. So what will happen is, as soon as this agent completes its work, it will send us a webhook notification, and this webhook will have like the container ID of that particular execution. So I'm just gonna click on save, and I will show you what do I mean by this. I'm just gonna save and close. Okay, yeah, so if you go to activities, then if we click on log, then what you can see over here is where did it go? So yeah, as you can see, there is like this container ID over here. So we can simply get the scraped leads from this container ID over here. I'm just gonna copy this ID for now, just for the demonstration purpose. And I will add Phantom Buster node once again. So this time we are going to get the output of an agent. So over here, I will select our Sales Navigator Search Export Agent. And inside this, we are going to put the container ID. So if I put this container ID and click on execute step, then it will have all the leads which is inside that container. So just gonna wait for some time. Okay, so I just have to disconnect this thing and run it once again. So I'm just gonna stop the execution from here and execute this again. So yeah, as you can see, we got the 10 items from our container or the scrape. Now what we can do is we can connect this, and what will happen, maybe let's just run this webhook for now. So I'm just gonna click on execute workflow, and I will go back to our other n8n workflow. So I'm just gonna open it in a new tab, and I will basically go back to this automation, and we'll have to execute this in order to test it out. So yeah, again, I'm just gonna grab this URL from here and paste it inside here. And the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab like the cookie. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna grab the cookie from here. Extract cookie. So we got the cookie as well, and now I'm just gonna put this cookie over here, and it's submitted. So now it will start running. and we will go back to this workflow and see what we are going to get inside this webhook. So I'm just gonna wait for some time, or maybe go back to Phantom Buster and see if it's running. So yeah, it's running. Okay, so for some reason we didn't get anything inside this webhook. Let me go back and see the setup. So over here, okay, the webhook is removed. So this happens quite sometimes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna click on stop listening. Okay, I'm just gonna refresh this page maybe. Go to execute. Yeah, no, it hasn't executed. So what I'm going to do now, okay, we need this node, by the way. Just gonna copy it and put it over here. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm gonna make it as a production URL, so that this so that we can just activate this particular workflow. Got it. And yeah, it's saved. Now I think we should run it once again. So I'm just gonna put the production URL over here. So now I'm just gonna run this automation once again. So I'm just gonna click on execute and grab this from here. So yeah, this one, paste it over here. For the cookie, just gonna extract the cookie and just simply gonna put it over here, and this should start this automation. Yeah, so basically it's running this Phantom. So just gonna wait for some time until it completes its work. Alright, so it has finished running, and let's go back to our workflow and go to executions. Then right now we can see over here that we received a webhook. So basically what I'm going to do is copy this and go back to our editor and just put it in the clipboard. So yeah, basically so I've just pinned the webhook response over here, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just gonna connect this to the output of an agent node and basically map the ID, the container ID over here. So I'm just gonna map it over here, and now if I click on execute step, then we will get everything from that container, which looks nice. Yeah, perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I will add the AI node. So I'm just gonna type open AI, and over here I'm gonna select message a model. And yeah, over here to create the connection, what you're going to need is the API key. So copy this API key and basically add the connection and just paste the API key over here and just save it. After that, the resource will be text message model, and we'll select our model over here. So I'm gonna select 4.0 latest. So I just copy pasted the prompt over here. So this was the prompt that I was using for the demo. So I think this is a great prompt for my use case, but for the templates, I would recommend changing it as per your own needs. So for example, over here, what I have written is hi first name. So it will basically pick the first name over here. I admire personalization, and I have given some sort of like an example over here, your innovation work in XYZ. So when you write anything inside curly braces, the AI gets to know that they have like the freedom to make any changes or write anything in this part, and it will not change any other part over here. So it won't change this I admire part. So that way you can maintain the structure of your outreach messages. So the next one what we have is the first follow-up message. So the first follow-up message is like this, and over here we have like our script. Then in the second one what we have is hi first name, just wanted to follow up on the message above. Do you know someone who might like this? Also, since you are a type of business or agency, this might be useful for you. Then after that what we have is never use this thing in the output. I don't know why the AI still uses this thing. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, basically I'm just gonna do one thing. I will have it as a note. Maybe now the AI will take it seriously. And after that, return a JSON output with the following objects with the exact name. Connection request, first follow-up, then second follow-up. Then this should be like the system prompt. Then what we have to map over here is the details of the leads. So I'm just gonna copy it from this one again. So yeah, basically what we are grabbing is the full name of the person, the company name, the profile title that they have. So if we look at the profile title, then you can see CEO founder, then profile summary. So the summary is this one. Then what we have is company job description. So this is basically from here. Where did it go? Yeah, I think some profiles don't have this part. So title description. So if you go to LinkedIn, then I would say this is the part. So this is like the title description. So this is about the job or like the position they are in. And after that, what we have is like the industry. So we have mapped the industry over here. So this one is the industry. So I think this is pretty much it for the prompt. So yeah, it's selected user over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna pin this data and I'm just gonna run this agent to see the output. Okay, I think we forgot to do one thing. So output content as JSON. I'm just gonna stop it and run it once again. So now what we are going to do is we have to map it inside a Google Sheet, which we are going to give it to our next agent. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna close this and maybe I'm just gonna pin this data as well. Then after that, what I'm going to do is, Sheets, Google Sheets. Over here, I'm going to select append row in sheet. So let's use this one, by the way, which I used over here. So I'm just going to select this, sheet over here. So if I go to document, yeah, this one, the sheet would be sheet 1. And map each column manually. So we have all the fields over here. So first thing what we are going to map is the LinkedIn profile URL. So this will be present inside, I think, the output. So from this, what we are going to map is this one, LinkedIn profile. No, not this one. There is another one which is better to map. So yeah, this one, default profile URL. So we are going to map this one over here. Then for the name, we are going to take the name, so full name over here. So for the connection request message, we are going to get it from our AI node. This doesn't seem to be good. Okay, so this is basically the data from the previous execution. So I need to run it once again actually. So I'm just gonna disconnect this from here and I'm just gonna run this once again. Okay, now we have it in a proper manner. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna link it back and let me first pin the data. So yeah, I'm just gonna link it to here and just gonna map it from here. So JSON connection request and the first follow-up, then the second, and after that we are going to leave this part. Then for the title, we are going back to the agent node and over here we will find the title. Then summary is this one. Industry would be, actually I'm going to open it in table form. Yeah, industry would be mapped over here. Then company, we are going to map this variable over here. And after that, what we have is job title description. So this one, we are going to put it over here. So I've just cleared this list. Now I will just execute this step so that it will append the rows. So as you can see, we have all the leads over here with, the connection request message, the first follow-up message and the second follow-up message. Then what we are going to do is, since we are done with this one, now we are going to add a Gmail node over here. So basically this is just to notify us once the outreach sequences are written. So I'm just going to select send a message and in the I will write my email address. Alright, so I've completed this node and in I've written one of my email address. Then after that in the message, what we have is check out the list. So we have put the list link over here. And one thing you should keep in mind that you have to make this as public. So you have to keep this list as public so that like the agent can basically, use this for outreach. So you can set the role as viewer, by the way. And yeah, it's pretty much good now. And finally, this workflow is also complete. We have all our nodes together. All right, so we are done with this workflow as well. And I've named it as outreach messages generator. So what I'm going to do is I will just unpin the data from here. Okay, now I'm just gonna save it. So this one is ready. And yeah, one last thing you have to do over here is you have to select execute once over here so that it doesn't send 10 messages inside our Gmail. So after that, I'm just gonna click on save, and now it's time to build the next workflow. So I'm just gonna go back to Sales Navigator Outreach System folder, and I'm just gonna click create workflow. So I'm just gonna name it as update sheet. So this workflow's work is to basically update our sheet whenever like the agent imports a particular lead from our list. So yeah, one thing I forgot to do over here is to add our agent. So I have 4 out of 5 slots taken by different agents over here. So what I'm going to do is I just need to remove one agent from here. So I'm gonna remove this one for now. So I'm just gonna delete this agent. And what I have to do over here is I have to take this URL, the URL of this list, and I have to put this inside this section, and just gonna click on save. Oh, I have forgot to do one thing over here. I'm just gonna select LinkedIn profile URL and click on save. Now if we move forward, and then I can select my message. So I'm gonna map this variable over here, the connection request, then gonna click on save. Then for the follow-up messages, I will select 0 days for the first one and map the first follow-up message. Then I'm gonna map like the second follow-up message. So this should be like the second follow-up message, and I'm gonna hit on save. Then choose how many invitations to send per day. So I'm just gonna reduce this to 5 and just gonna click on save. This phantom is off right now. So what I'm going to do is make sure I disable this one first, then I will enable this one. And before that, what I should be doing over here is I will go to settings, and in advanced, I will go to webhooks, and over here what I will do is basically put a webhook URL. So again, I'm gonna choose production URL and gonna choose this and gonna select this URL from here and set the method as post request, and just gonna save it and activate this one. So the next thing what I'm going to do is I will go to Phantom Buster and paste this URL, gonna save it, save and close. So I think this phantom is ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna enable this. So this will send some data to this webhook over here, to this one. So we're gonna just wait for some time. It's enabled. So as you can see, it has imported some leads from our list. So what I will do is I will go back to this workflow and go to executions and see what we have received over here. So inside this, we received this result object. So this is like the result object. So this basically is having all the data of, the imported leads over here. So what I'm going to add after this is a code node. So basically, as you can see, so if I go to the executions, let me just copy this one first. JSON, and I'm just gonna copy this and go to editor, and I will just paste it over here. So I'm just gonna remove everything from here and paste it over here and click on save. So as you can see, this result object, although it's like a JSON over here, but still you cannot use this JSON, and n8n is not able to pass this JSON. So we basically need the profile URL. So what we are going to do is we are going to add a code node over here. So I will type code, then code in JavaScript. So I'm not a coding guy, but still I'm able to build good workflows inside n8n. So let me show you my secret, what I do. So basically, let's say for example, I want to extract this particular, LinkedIn URL. So there are so many LinkedIn URLs inside it. So I just need the LinkedIn URL. So what I will do is I will copy this JSON and I will go to any AI. So in this case, I've gone to Claude and basically pasted that JSON over here, and I've written the prompt that take this as input and output the LinkedIn URLs as items or objects for JavaScript node in n8n. So it's not a great prompt, but basically I'm asking it to create me like a JavaScript code to basically extract those information. So it has basically created this Java code, So if the code is not working, what I will do is either I will take the error message from n8n, or I will just write another prompt to rectify the errors. And after that, what I got is this sort of like a code over here. So if you know simple coding, then you can further modify this code that is being written by AI. So for example, over here I don't need anything except the profile URL, so I can remove these objects from here. So what I will do is I will just simply copy this, and now I will go back to our workflow, and inside this code node I will paste this code, paste it, and I will basically remove all of these from here. And yeah, I'm just gonna click on execute step. So as you can see, we have all the profile URLs over here. So you might be asking why we are doing this step. So basically we are trying to get like the unique profile URL. So every row over here has different LinkedIn URL. So this acts as an identifier. So in order to update this column for each row, we are going to use the unique identifier for that particular row. So what we are going to do right now is I'm gonna add Google Sheet node over here, Google Sheets, and over here I'm gonna select update row in sheet. So in this one we are going to select our list. Then after that what we are going to do is map column mode, map each column manually, column to match on. So we are going to select LinkedIn profile URL. So over here I'm gonna map this value. So as we have the profile URLs of the imported leads inside that agent, we just mapped it over here, and over here we are going to write true, and I'm just gonna execute this step. So you can see now that it will mark all the profiles over here as true since they are imported inside this agent. So again, if I explain this, then this webhook is basically receiving the leads or the profiles that are imported inside our agent, our outreach agent. Then this code is basically getting the URL for those profiles. And what we are doing over here is we are updating the row. So first we are searching that particular profile inside our list. So after the profile is matched, we are putting true over here. So you can see which profiles are imported inside our outreach agent. And we are pretty much done with our Sales Navigator outreach system or our LinkedIn outreach system. So that is all for this video, and I hope this will help you build your own LinkedIn outreach system. And if you want to grab this system, you can go to the link in my description for my Skool community, which is called Scale with AI, and get it for free and use it for yourself. And make sure you join my Skool community and subscribe to my channel, and also like this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.